5%. Inviter nos honorables délégués, traditional sponsors, to ask for a
2019. Members are invited to make their nominations first for the chair.
Your Excellencies, it is my pleasure to address all of you this morning, and I would like to begin by thanking the chairman of the International Sugar Organization for hosting this 53rd session of the ISO Council. Your Excellencies, this time last year, I addressed you all following the great success of the 23rd Conference of the Parties in Bonn, Germany, as Fiji became the first small island country to lead the United Nations global negotiations as COP23 president. There we made considerable and concrete progress in moving forward the Paris Agreement on climate change. Your Excellency, COP23, while a success, was only a starting point. The campaign for climate action continues, and it shall continue for years, decades, and generations to come. And our work as COP23 President has remained unrelenting over the course of this year throughout our presidential term, a term which concludes in less than 2 weeks' time, when I hand over presidency to the incoming president of Poland at COP24. The secure future of all our people is tied directly to how seriously we move to address the threat of climate change. But as countries with a vested interest in the health and future of the sugar industry, we all have yet another reason why we must take this growing threat extremely seriously. As leaders, you know the risks as well as I do. I'm speaking of the rising seas that continue to put arable land at risk by degrading the quality of our soil, the worsening prolonged droughts that are hitting cane farmers harder and harder each year, and the increasing severity of tropical cyclones, storms that carry the potential to bring an entire economy to its knees overnight, as we saw with Cyclone Winston in Fiji in 2016. So while our presidency of COP23 may be coming to an end, I assure you, Your Excellencies, Fiji will remain a committed partner to all of you in this global campaign. We will remain an advocate who speaks out in defense of all nations, especially those facing the most extreme climate risks. And I fully expect to see all you on the front lines with us, standing shoulder to shoulder with Fiji and the vulnerable nations of the world to continue demanding decisive climate action. But no matter how effectively we move forward to address this issue, severe climate impacts are already upon us, and we can expect things to get worse before they start to get better. So in Fiji, we remain equally committed to adapting all aspects of our economy to the reality of climate change. That includes our rapid movement towards a more resilient sugar industry. In 2016, Cyclone Winston struck our country and brought with it difficult and painful lessons. One of our major mills sustained irreparable damage and has been permanently closed. But we've invested heavily in improving the operational efficiency and reliability of our other major mills since that time. We've centralized our crushing operations, prioritizing quality and reliability in our mills, and that has helped balance our season length. We reduced mill stoppages due to low supply and allowed for faster rehabilitation of our mills in the aftermath of severe weather events. We've recovered production since the historic low tonnage following Cyclone Winston in 2016, and are on track to produce around 1.7 million tons of cane in the 2018 season. And that figure has been achieved despite the impact of tropical cyclones Josie and Kenny, which struck our nation in back-to-back succession earlier this year. Our rising production has been led by our mill in Lautoka, which has increased its operational efficiency to 97% and is now crushing an average of around 26,000 tons of cane a week, with a new record high of 40,000 tons crushed in the span of a single week this year. Importantly, the Fiji Sugar Corporation has welcomed the new board and CEO in 2018. And after many years of continuous losses, the FSC, the Fiji Sugar Corporation, has made a remarkable turnaround in its financial performance, recording an $800,000 gross profit this year, compared to an $18.5 million gross loss in 2017. But our successes will extend far into the future as well, owed to our intensifying focus on the modernization and mechanization of the industry by putting new equipment and technology directly into the hands of our cane farmers. We've also doubled our total support to the industry since 2016, improving yields and dramatically reducing the costs associated with production. And those savings have gone directly back into the cane farmers' pockets. We've continued other long-standing support introduced by my government through grants and subsidies for cane planting, subsidies for fertilizer and weedicides, and support to farmers to cover cane cuttage and the continued upgrading of cane access roads. Our progress in rebuilding, revamping, and reimagining our sugar industry has taken innovation, bold ideas, and new solutions tailored to the realities we face in Fiji. And keeping this industry on the new prosperous path we're charting will take further innovation still, and that begins with research and development. The Sugar Research Institute of Fiji has established a new board with new members and a new strategic direction, bringing local and regional expertise to the table with a mandate to help us improve our cane yield. We're looking closely at how to improve soil health, better our seed cane and water management, and any and all measures that can be taken to reduce the impact of climate variability. We'll also be working closely with our partners from Japan on a pilot experiment to improve sucrose purity, a critical step towards bioethanol production. We've set aside significant resources towards policies that will see returns over a long term. But the truth of the matter is that cane farmers in Fiji are facing serious challenges in the here and now. And it is incumbent on my government to do what we can to ease those burdens today, while also preparing for the challenges yet to come. That is why I was deeply proud to see our Sugarcane Growers Fund, our principal lending institution for cane growers, unveil a new bundle insurance initiative which at no cost to growers, no cost to our growers, provides insurance payouts to them and their families in the event of personal injuries, fire, or death. We've already paid out nearly $500,000 Fijian dollars to 124 cane farmers, bringing a level of security to our cane growers they've never known before. Security that all hard-working people deserve for themselves and those they care about. And in recognition of our farmers' effort and contribution, we plan to give 10% of shares in the Fiji Sugar Corporation directly to cane farmers through a trust mechanism with a share allocation for individual farmers derived from the tonnage of cane produced. We remain deeply grateful for the support from the EU in modernizing and adapting our cane industry. While support through our accompanying measures for sugar protocol is ended, the EU has continued to provide assistance to our agriculture sector, including in the sugar industry. We are securing new markets for Fijian sugar following the abolition of the EU production quotas. World sugar prices have predictably taken a hit since that time, but Fiji is building new relationships and pursuing more lucrative opportunities while solidifying our presence in our traditional markets with buyers who are already familiar with the high-quality product we offer. I would like to close by thanking our cane farmers for all that they do to build our economy, provide for their families, and contribute to our national development. I thank you.